Welcome to Beyond the Huddle, a Central Arkansas FCA podcast where faith meets competition. Join host Josh Adair and Zach Rose as they dive into real stories from athletes, coaches, and leaders making an eternal impact through sports. Each episode brings powerful conversations on faith, leadership, and living boldly for Christ in every field of play and walk of life. This is Beyond the Huddle.
Welcome to Beyond the Huddle, the Central Arkansas FCA podcast where faith meets competition. I'm your host, Zach Rose. My co-host, Josh Adair, isn't here, but we do have another Adair in the building, so it's a great day. I'm super excited for this episode. We got a veteran in here too. Spencer's in here. He's back with us. If you haven't seen Spencer's episode, go ahead. Just stop what you're doing right now. Immediately go to watch Spencer's episode because it's well worth your watch and your time. But we have some wonderful student athletes in here as well that we're super excited to get to know a little bit about them and their stories and how FCA has been an impact in their life and on their school campus. And so we're going to talk about FCA Camp today as well. We love FCA Camp and super excited for that coming this summer. But let's go ahead and start. We're going to go around the room here and say your name, what sports you play, and what school that you go to. So we'll start with Luke. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm Luke. I play basketball and I run track. I used to live in Arkansas, but now I live in South Dakota. I go to Aberdeen Central High School. So.
Let's go. Aberdeen Central, stand up, right?
Yeah.
Spencer, introduction?
I'm Spencer Calgill, 16 years old, Cabot High School. No, I'm kidding. I'm 26 now. Just had a birthday a few days ago. I keep on getting older.
Man.
Why does time not stop?
I don't know.
I mean, we were 16, that was 10 years ago for me. How old are you, Zach?
I'm 23.
23. So you got a few more years until 26.
That's right.
Yeah, but I'm from Texarkana, Texas. I live in Conway, Arkansas now, but Cabot's close to Conway, man. It's almost like we live in Cabot anyway. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Addison?
I'm Addison Adair. I'm a junior at Cabot High School, and I play basketball and volleyball.
That's right. So we're super excited to have you guys here today. I'm excited to share. There's some people who would never know about this story and how the Lord has just kind of intertwined and opened up doors all the way in South Dakota from the great state of Arkansas. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We also want to jump into FCA Camp and everything camp-wise. I thought it would be appropriate if we start off. Spencer, would you mind just giving a little bit of context to FCA Camp, what it's all about, the structure of it, and how we pursue athletes all over the state of Arkansas through FCA Camp?
That's a great question. FCA Camp it's really all about giving athletes and even students, even kids that don't play sports, an opportunity to just get away from the day-to-day. I mean, school is a grind, right? And so camp is right after school ends, and it's their first thing that they get to experience into the summer months. And so we want to give athletes and students just an opportunity to come out to camp, get away from their atmosphere that they've been in for the last 7 or 8 months, and just dive into the Word of God, experience truth, experience a lot of fun, and just walk away with a fresh perspective about who they are in Christ and find new identity at camp. And so camp this year, you may drop dates later, but I believe junior high is June 7th through 11th.
7th through
10th.
7th through 10th.
And then senior high is June
11th through 14th. Yes. If you need to find that information, if you've already heard him talk and you're like, I got to go to FCA Camp, go ahead. Arkansas FCA Camp. You can just look it up in Google or wherever you go, and you can sign up there on arkansasfca.org, I think is where it's at. But so enough of us talking about FCA Camp. In that regard, we really want to kind of get to why do students enjoy coming to FCA Camp? What is so exciting about it? What is the pull to it? Why have you guys gone and kept coming back for years now? We'll start off with Luke. Bro, tell me why you enjoy FCA Camp so much. What's the pull for you?
I mean, I'm just really competitive, so the sports aspect of it's
Sure.
Awesome. And then when I came to FCA Camp the first time, I didn't know anything about Jesus, and I met Spencer, and he really helped me and introduced me to Jesus and who he was. And then I gave my life to him, and that was one of the best experiences ever. And then I mean, it's just awesome. Great food, meet new people, and
Great food.
Great
Yeah.
food.
All right.
I think it's
We might
pretty
need to
good.
test that one.
And then
Yeah, I don't know about
I
that.
like the sports there, and meeting new friends is pretty awesome. So.
Yeah. So you said something important. Let's kind of dive into that for a second. Of you and Spencer got to know each other a little bit, but within the structure of FCA Camp, Spencer, would you mind hitting on? Because I know you were in charge of all of our male huddle leaders this last year. How does FCA Camp differentiate from any other church camp you'd go to or any other regular camp of huddle leaders, how we do camp, and why it's so impactful for college students to be able to minister to and speak into the lives of high school and junior high students?
Yeah. So I didn't grow up going to a whole lot of church camps, but I've been to a few and I know enough about them. And typically you'll go to a church camp for a few days and it's a massive group of volunteers, kind-hearted Christ followers that want to invest into the kids, but there's not anything scaled to small structure. And so these college athletes get a chance to come in and get 7 to 9 campers in one huddle, and you get to invest in them for 4 days. And so that's how I got to connect with Luke, because as soon as he got there, man, there was something about him that just stood out. And what it really takes too is an investment beyond the 4 days of camp. And so we stayed connected, we stayed grounded, and just built a relationship. And after he had decided to follow Jesus at camp, there's no reason for me to just say, all right, Luke, be off into the wolves, because that's what the scripture says. Jesus says that you will be like sheep among wolves. And it would be against the training that the huddle leaders experience to let him go out without discipleship. And so it's got to continue after camp. And so that's why it's so important. We want to recruit amazing huddle leaders that will lead and guide, athletes like Luke and Addison.
Yeah, definitely. So again, just for anyone listening, the structure of FCA Camp is that leaders who are just a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, who are trained up within a couple of days before camp, and even further beyond that. A lot of these leaders are coming in from UCA and Arkansas Tech and a lot of different universities and places around where they're already getting FCA input where they're at, and then being able to be plugged into an atmosphere and a place where then they can do ministry within the structure of FCA Camp, which is taking a group of 8 to 10 students, being with them the 3 or 4 days that they're at camp, speaking life into them in the middle of that intense competition. Like Luke was saying, it's fun to compete. It's even better to be vulnerable and get to know and understand and have deeper relationships with people around you who you're just meeting for the first time. And I know that's a big appeal. So Addison, what has that experience been like for you? What gets you excited about FCA Camp every year? And even within the structure of how you guys do it, of all of a sudden, you're not just within a group of a bunch of Cabot girls the whole week. It's like you're placed randomly with a group of girls that you've never met before. What's so exciting about that for you?
I think it can bring a lot of stress or anxiety with it, but I think once you get together and you realize you're all in the same boat and situation, it helps kind of ease the nerves. But I like it just because you get to meet a lot of new people in all walks of life, and sometimes you realize you know people, and you just really get to put everything aside and get to know each other for the week and just grow in the heart posture towards the Lord and just have fun together.
Yeah. Is that ever uncomfortable? Like you get to camp the first day and it's like you come with all your friends, but then it's like, man, now I'm with a whole group of people that I've never met before. Is that uncomfortable at first, but kind of over time you feel like you grow closer together? How is that for you guys?
I'd say it's most definitely uncomfortable. I mean, you really don't know the people. You don't even know your huddle. It'll really so for the first day, it's kind of a little like everyone's still kind of quiet, but normally you wake up the second morning and everyone's yelling, hooting, hollering like you've known them their whole life. Like everyone just kind of is like, all right, we're all in the same boat. We got to just have fun and enjoy it while it lasts. So.
Yeah, definitely. We talked about competition. I love competition just as much as the next person. And there's been some new games that have come within this last year. Some wonderful games, and there will continue to be some new games coming this year too. I'm super excited about the games coming this year. But Luke, you talked about competition. What are some of your favorite games at FCA Camp that you like to play?
I mean, the soccer one, there's ultimate football maybe.
Okay.
And it was like where you throw the ball and you try to hit it off the stick, and that
Yes.
was fun.
Yeah.
And then
Angle ball.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And then playing basketball in our break time was pretty fun.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and the rims there were shorter, so we could all dunk.
That's
it was
right.
all fun.
That's
yeah,
right.
I'm glad y'all can dunk.
You're a 26-year-old or
Yeah.
no, 16-year-old in high school.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gravity is not a friend.
Yeah. No, it's not. Addison, you got any favorite games?
I like Aggie ball.
Okay.
So,
Explain Aggie ball to someone who's never played.
So it's like baseball, but you go the opposite way, and before you can run to the base, you have to put the bat in the bucket, and then there's only one out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like one and done kind of.
Why do we call it Aggie ball?
I have no idea.
Is it because the Aggies do everything
I
wrong?
was wondering if it was like hate towards
That's
us.
Is it a
that's
shot
A
towards
and M.
A&M?
Yeah, that's A&M slander if I've ever
course.
seen it.
I guess we can blame the big athletic director at camp, the tall bald guy. What's his name?
Yeah,
The,
I don't know.
He's come
I
up
think
with
he's
some
a-
bad games recently.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
You
a
need to
fan.
talk to him.
I'm not a
Hey,
fan
wait a
of video
second.
games.
I'm on that committee helping think of some games here. So just
Yeah. Okay. We're sorry.
I also the games are questionable sometimes. I will
like
be.
sock jumping over a trash can, holding socks. What
I think
is
that one
going
made
on?
the
We're
cut.
we're replacing
That
that
was
one
fun.
this
Okay,
year.
good.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, it got cut.
Yeah, it did get cut. Man, some wonderful games and competitions. I enjoyed watching Aggie ball. It's interesting seeing a bunch of athletes who have either played baseball before or understand kickball or any of those rules, but just rewiring your brain to do something different. I sat and watched hours worth of Aggie ball, and to see how many people, they get so excited that you hit the ball that you start running, and then it's like, wait, I got to run the other way, and you got to put the bat in the bucket. There's so many different little nuances
It's
to
tough.
that makes it tough. One exciting game, I'll go ahead and just, this is dropping
Is this
live
allowed?
here.
Oh.
I'm allowing it
Oh,
right now
okay.
because we got to build some excitement for FCA Camp. I want you at home, if you're listening, to look up Halo Ball. That's all I need you to do is
Ooh.
look up Halo Ball.
That already sounds
If
questionable.
you like dunking on shorter rims, you're gonna like this game. It's gonna be a whole lot of
Okay.
just posterizing and teamwork.
Sounds awesome.
It'll be really fun. Look up Halo Ball on your free time. It'll be well worth your look up there. There's lots of fun games. We had a pickleball this year. There's football.
Mhm.
It's what a great name for
That's it.
for a game.
Yep.
What other games? There's a hog ball, soccer.
Dodgeball.
All of these games are structured to where there's no real, like, unless you just practice these games year round, it's not like you're specifically good at any one of these sports. It applies different athletic abilities and skills that we already train for, but just gives them a new kind of context and meaning within FCA Camp. So I've really enjoyed the games and the competitions, and I know you guys have too. Outside of games and competitions, there is a lot of time that we get to meet with our huddles within the structure of, if Josh was here, he'd say FCA Camp is about two things, inspiration and perspiration. Is that true, Addison? Is that what he would say?
he uses big words, and sometimes I don't really think he knows the meaning of them. But
Yeah.
he probably does say that.
Yeah,
I'll
he
give it
does say that. Inspiration and perspiration. So perspiration is it's hot in the summers in Arkansas. We were just talking about that a second ago. But also inspiration, being able to, in the middle of that competition, sit with a huddle leader who is trained to be able to lead a devotional, lead a time where we can talk and gather together, and kind of sharpen not just our athletic skills, but also our spiritual gifts and abilities that we have as well. So what does that time look like for you guys? What's been beneficial in the middle of competition? Why is it so important that we stop for a second and meet as a huddle? Like, why is that so important? Luke, you got something for us?
I think it's just a way to get closer to the guys that you're with, or even the girls for Addison. But just get to know them on a personal level, like how their walk with Jesus is, and like talk about whatever it might be. Like, I don't know, but just get to know them on a personal level, and everybody's going through something. So,
Yeah.
just talk about it, and I don't know, give it to Jesus.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I think something in FCA we talk about is the huddle is a place, right? In any sport, this is going to be a cliche, but this is how we operate in FCA. But the huddle is a place where we talk about the game plan, where we restructure, we regroup, we talk about the things that we've done good, and we talk about the things that we've done bad. And then we make a plan to go and move forward. That's how we operate on campuses. That's how we operate at FCA Camp, where not just competition-wise, but spiritually, what are the things that we need to improve on? What are the things that we need to sharpen individually and as a group as we continue to pursue the Lord and glorify him through our efforts at camp? That's a huge part of what we do. That's great. Addison, anything stick out to you in meeting in between competitions?
I think it can be a little hectic at times. I mean, if you're transferring fields or moving, it could be finding a spot under a tree in some shade or under a pergola or just sitting in the middle of the field. But I think it helps put things into perspective a little bit. People can get competitive during the games, and it can get a little, not out of hand, but heated in the moment, trying to win, get points. But I think then taking that time after to really put things in perspective, like this is why we're really here, and this is what it's really all about, just to help have the right heart posture while we're partaking in all the games.
Yeah, absolutely. It can get heated. Isn't that right, Spencer?
It can definitely get heated.
That's right.
Yes.
Were you there when we were testing out the can game?
Oh,
I feel like it was you and Jeb Huckabee, who we just had on recent. Were you in that quick
I was the
game?
one filming
Okay.
the fiasco.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Jeb did like a double backflip.
Yeah, well, because I was holding on.
Yep.
Guys, I'm not even 6 feet tall, not even 170 pounds, and I've got a third round former Razorback, former NFL linebacker next to me, and a 7-footer on the other side, Josh Adair.
Yeah.
And they want me to
slim.
hold on to a sock in between them. I didn't. That
This
wasn't
is why
happening.
it's not a good game.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That's why we're not bringing.
It's cut. It's cut.
It's
Yep.
cut. We'll be back with
Short-lived.
Halo Ball this next year. For those of you watching at home, I just looked into the camera. Go look up Halo Ball. Spencer, you got any favorite games or favorite? I guess even being a huddle leader, what's the importance for you? Share your favorite game, and then share what the importance of meeting in between competitions is.
Yeah. Favorite game. It's hard to beat Aggie Ball. It really is. It's got to be a favorite. I'm trying to think of one that we haven't talked about yet. You've got, what do we call it? Octoball at camp or Gaga Ball?
I think it's Octoball.
Octoball.
Yeah.
That one gets a little intense. If
Yeah.
you got the right crew in there,
Yeah,
that one's fun. If you have a dud crew, it's not that fun.
Or if it's muddy.
I was
Or
gonna
if it's
say,
muddy.
especially when it rains. Yeah,
Or if it's dusty too. Dusty, yeah. You got to have the perfect. It's either got to be just right. I don't know. That one can be a little dicey. We'll leave it there. Why I think huddles are important right there in between competition. I was thinking as both of y'all just talked, I think it's something that, as it's almost like we're like restructuring the culture, because you're so like, our culture says sports, and nothing else.
Mhm.
It's an idol, worship it, do it, and do nothing else. That's like, and so at camp, it's like, all right, listen, we're going to play, but also we're going to rewire your mind to understand that this is not all there is. And so we're going to take time to prioritize the thing that needs to be prioritized anyways.
Mhm.
And so that's why I think that huddles are important. And it gives, there could be like a moment to where you get really heated in a game or get frustrated. And then you come out of a huddle and you're like, dude, like I've got no reason to be upset right now. And then you have a much better experience at camp because you have this new revelation of like, there's more to life than just losing in hogball.
Sure.
I'm okay. I'm going to be okay.
We need to put that on a t-shirt.
That's
and
right.
Bring that to camp
Yes.
this year.
So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so funny. In my head, I just picture myself playing a game and getting upset because I didn't put the bat in the bucket before I ran backwards around the bases. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you think about it, these games aren't meant to just be the mecca of competition. They're meant to have fun, to enjoy community together athletically, and then build a space where we can then spiritually dive deeper together.
Yeah.
That's what FCA Camp's all about. Luke, you said something about the food earlier. What's your favorite meal you have at camp?
I like the desserts.
Okay.
Of course.
That
of
makes
course.
sense.
Spencer gave me free more food there.
That's right. That's right. We got him hooked up.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. The desserts are good. Yeah. That you need some dessert after you burn probably 20,000 calories sweating out in the sun every day.
Right.
I swear it's fun. It's so fun actually.
No, you can't
I,
beat
That's
FCA camp.
I do wish I could go out
The
and compete.
heat is a part of the fun. Like you don't have
Absolutely.
It's hot.
Oh,
The
yeah.
weather, it helps.
Yeah.
It helps make
Yeah.
it fun.
Last year there was a monsoon that came through. We got all the competitions in, and I know it was just the Lord holding back the rain, because the moment we stopped competitions, it was insane. Just the storm that rolled through there.
Oh.
Crazy.
The floodgates were open.
Yeah.
We even had kids and hopefully you guys are watching. There's my camera there. These kids, they were outside of their cabin. They were still fully clothed, but taking showers with the rain coming off of the roofs.
Yeah.
I mean, these are like all the dudes. It was just
Yeah.
a bunch of dudes, boys
I would
being
never
boys.
do that.
Boys
Yeah.
being boys.
The ladies, y'all are civilized. Y'all were all
A
inside.
few years ago, it rained too, and there was girls just laying in the creek on the first field when you drove. They were just laying in the creek as it was raining
wow.
because it filled up. I was like,
And lightning?
I don't know if it was lightning, but they were just swimming in the creek. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
a new one.
Sometimes
Okay.
you just need a little refresher.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The end of a long day at FCA camp, a long and rewarding day at FCA camp, comes to an end with a couple of different fun elements. First is the service portion of that. Every year there's a new speaker that comes in and shares a word and encourages those students in whatever area that it is. Usually it aligns with our theme. So this year it's proven. What are you trying to prove to people? Who are you trying to prove yourself to? There's so many elements of that we'll dive into this year. But the speaker is, I think, a very impactful part of camp as well. Someone I know, Chuck Hatchett, came this last year. He has quite a testimony and quite a story of just how God has used and moved in and through his life. And I think the biggest thing is I know that resonates with students. I know that at any point in his story, he was able to relate in some way, shape, or form to what you guys may be facing today as an athlete, as a human being, everything in between. What is something that one of you guys have taken away from just the service time? Why is that such an important part of camp? Addison?
One of the very first year, going into 7th grade, I can't remember his name, but he always said, if you're gripping or tripping, like if you're holding everything you want to control in your hand, like you're not going to be able to do it. You're literally going to trip. And as for me, I like to, I guess you could say, have things in order, have a plan. And I was like, can't have this happen anymore. Otherwise I'm going to struggle.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like an eye opener, like putting things in a new perspective and saying something that I've probably been told in my life, that I don't need to control everything, but just having someone else hear it and have biblical, scripture to back it up, be like,
Sure.
You're obviously not the one in control of what you're doing, so you just need to let it all go and let the one who's in control really control it.
Yeah, that's so good. I think one thing that's so great seen from an FCA staff perspective is how biblically we are equipping students with, the Bible talks about it. The word of God is our sword. It's what we fight with and what we engage in battle with, because there's spiritual warfare going on. But as we engage, equip, and empower students to serve the Lord faithfully beyond FCA camp, there's so many things that you can take away from those lessons and those sermons. Luke, was there anything to you that sticks out in any of the sermons or any of that time for you that's been impactful?
I feel like the first time I was there, I don't remember who it was, but he's like, if y'all are holding on to anything and you want to, he gave us an opportunity to give our life to Jesus, and you're just sitting there like, I really should go up there right now. And I did, and that was probably the best decision I made, and that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I came up to Spencer, and I was like, dude, I'm broken.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Do you feel like there's, you experienced that yourself, right? You have also probably seen teammates and friends around you experience similar things in their life.
yeah.
Why was that such an important moment in time for you to make that decision? And why do you think that's important that you continue to live that out even further than FCA camp?
I mean, just to get my life back in line. Like, there's so many things as a high schooler. There's so many temptations, and it's hard to not fall into them when you have your friends pressuring you. But just give my life to Jesus and trying to stay on that line and talk to Spencer, and eventually starting my own FCA club at my high school, and helping my friends get closer to God, and some girls, and just everybody. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about that for a second. Just beyond FCA camp, even just some of the fruit that has come from FCA camp of, yes, a moment where you gave your life to Jesus, but then you also seen and understanding, I need this further than just this moment. So you move to South Dakota and you get to your high school and there's no FCA presence at all, correct?
Right.
Okay. And so then you get in there and you're like, man, this is missing. This is something that has been so important to me on my campus that I know that we need to start this here. were you scared or nervous in that moment
yeah.
to start that?
Oh,
what
yeah.
what was that process like for you?
Well, I went up to the principal and I was like, I think we should start this club here. And it's hard, like, worrying about people think of you.
Sure.
And I was just like, I don't really care anymore. So I started a club and just trying to help everybody get closer to Jesus and bringing in guest speakers to share devotional for 30 minutes before school and just giving everybody breakfast. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Do you think that if you didn't have that moment where your life was changed by Jesus, that you would be in a spot right now where you feel like you were even comfortable to lead in a setting like that?
I don't think I'd be the same person I am now. Like,
Yeah.
It really changed me.
Yeah, definitely. And then as you go on, you're looking to be equipped with some more knowledge, with some more structure to be able to do that group and do it at a high level. You reach out to Spencer, is that right?
Right.
And Spencer described some of what that conversation was like, of him reaching out to you and what you were able to equip him with to then be able to do ministry in a totally different state. I mean, totally different. We were just talking about it. It's cold up there, isn't it?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
but describe some of what you were able to give him resource wise and just encourage him in that season and that time.
Yeah, definitely wanted to encourage him because, man, I mean, you think about it was my first summer being on staff as his huddle leader. So I was just as fresh as he was. It was your first year at FCA camp, right? And it was my first year. And so, man, walking away, like seeing this guy like leave on fire, it just fires you up. And so even now, just hearing that story again, man, I'm so proud of this guy and what he's doing in South Dakota. But yeah, he was telling me he's going to start a huddle, and me thinking, okay, that's amazing, but I know he needs resources. You know, how can I help? And I just thought to myself, man, this is why we raise the funds that we do, right? So that we never have to say no to any ministry opportunity. And so I was able to send him boxes of t-shirts and 2 rounds of t-shirts, right?
I think so.
Yeah, 2 rounds of t-shirts, man, to get his huddle going. And just, besides that, just like encouraging him, helping him kind of build the first ever huddle that he did. And we walked through kind of like how to introduce the huddle and what the meaning behind FCA is. And he's taken it, he's taken it and ran with it, man. Like we haven't talked about your huddle in, over 2 months. He's just doing so well leading that. And, you just throw a little spark to the firewood and, man, it takes off. So that's pretty incredible that he's doing that, and so cool to see what's going to come from it too.
Yeah. I would just encourage anyone who's listening, any parent, any athlete, whoever it may be, it doesn't hurt to say yes to FCA camp. And even further than that, FCA camp aside, wherever you go, Jesus wants to have a relationship with you. The Lord wants to not just bless you in a season, but see you through the rest of your life. He wants relationship with you in a lifelong kind of way, in an eternal kind of way. And at FCA camp, that's what we're striving to do. Have moments like this of like, man, that's so far-fetched than what we could even imagine as FCA staff trying to put on FCA camp. And the people who work so hard for that, like the vision of FCA camp stretches so much further than what we could ever ask, think, or imagine. That's Ephesians 3:20. Like God can do immeasurably more than what we ask, think, or imagine. And so I would just encourage you, if you're listening, sign up for FCA camp. I'll go ahead and list the dates on here. If you need to go online, it's on our Central Arkansas East FCA Instagram and Facebook. It's all over there. There's a QR code you can sign up, or look up arkansasfcacamp.org. But junior high camp is June 7th through the 10th. And then senior high is June 11th through the 14th. The cost is $300. And man, I mean, that cost is nothing compared to what the benefit of that is eternally, I think, and I know. So yeah, that's so cool. Thanks for sharing that story. I think that gives us a wider range of idea of even bigger than just what FCA can do, what the Lord can do through our lives and through our hearts. How has that been beneficial to you in South Dakota, even with relationships, building new friendships, and having a common ground for you to be able to expand your horizon in a brand new place?
Yeah, I mean, through all the sports, I tell my teammates, like, come to FCA camp because I don't know, some of them sometimes need it. And I'm like, come on, and there'll be breakfast there, and if you come to a couple, I'll give you a T-shirt, and they're all like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And then I've had my sister's a grade below me, and she'll tell me like her friends really like it, and they don't go to church ever, and they decide to go to FCA camp or FCA, the club I started, and they're like, ooh, this is cool. So then they start going to church, and then so on and so forth. So just build off that, and they just keep getting closer to Jesus, and it's a good opportunity for people. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's our goal. Like, I think at the end of the day, we all know that camp is 1 week a year. FCA meets 1 day a week, 1 day every other week, sometimes 1 day a month, depending on the range that we get to meet. But discipleship happens as we're rooted in our local churches, as we're rooted in diving into the Word together within a group of believers. So I think that's so good. To finish off a well-rounded conversation about FCA camp, and then I want to dive into just some of what happens at Cabot High School and what you're involved in, Addison. But what is I wanted to talk about the mega relay at the end of camp. All right, jumping back into competition here. So the mega relay is I'm trying to think of anything to compare this to. It's like, have any of you guys seen The Amazing Race, the show The Amazing Race?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a show called The Amazing Race. You go all the way around the world and you do all these challenges. That's how I compare the mega relay to. You're not going around the world, but you are going around Spring Lake Baptist Camp. And you're carrying this wooden plank with you around, and you do all these goofy little things to accomplish to complete this whole obstacle course, basically, to get around. But the whole deal is that you have to do it all together. Addison, is that ever frustrating to have to do it all together, like as a group?
Well, especially because you think some of the things wouldn't take you as long as they actually take you, like getting a bag in the cornhole, in the bag of what, or I don't know, just like random kicking a goal and a soccer ball in the goal. Like, I think someone can do it, but sometimes it's a little harder than it thinks, and everyone has the adrenaline. But I think sometimes, but then it really puts things into perspective. Like the race, running the race in life. We're not meant to do it by ourselves at our own pace. Like, we need people around us to support us and to uplift us and to point us back to Jesus. So we're not meant to do it on our own and go however fast we want. So sometimes we need those people around us to better us and build us up too. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you run all the way around the camp, and then you're carrying this wooden plank with you the whole time, but you're doing it together. My favorite part of that whole thing was as huddles are coming up that last stretch of that hill, and just seeing everyone run together, sometimes linked arms together, like no matter the frustration that you have in competition with each other, no matter the difficulties or even the bonding that you have had over the course of a week, there's that singular moment where you're running up the hill together as one team, as one unit, having achieved something together. I'm sure that just feels incredible. Finally being finished with that. I mean, it's not easy. It's fun, but it's a lot of running around. Luke, have you experienced that before? Like what is that like for you from a guy's perspective of being able to finish that together?
I mean, everybody, if you look at the pictures, they post pictures after it, everybody's got a smile on their face.
Yeah.
And we're all like running together, and it's like, come on, guys, we got to win. But I mean, like, it's all really fun to just do it together. And like she said, there's all little challenges throughout. And sometimes it's hard to make, I don't know, a little beanbag, or we had to remember a Bible verse, and that's all 5 or 6 of us were like, oh, what was it again?
For God so loved the world.
Yeah. And then, but it's great.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the more fun parts of the camp.
Definitely. That's awesome. And then to wrap up camp, there's an opportunity where students then get to come up and share their testimony. And boy, that's so good. Just to be able, parents are able to come in at that time, stand in the back and hear the change in their kids' lives and the students that they brought their lives. But there was just some really, really impactful time. I remember there was a student who I won't say his name, but the whole week was just a goofball, like just full of energy, full of life. And I talked to him a good bit throughout the week, but he got up on stage, and this man, like, when he started talking, I'm like, dude, this guy's going to be a pastor someday. Like,
definitely.
it was like the Spirit was just speaking right through him in that moment, not to just like say what God had done in his life, but to encourage his peers to do the same in theirs.
Yeah.
I'm standing there thinking, like, man, that dude has more impact than I have in this moment, because he's talking to his peers right now. Like, do you guys see that as an opportunity, even like just through the FCA camp structure, through Arkansas FCA camp structure? Have you seen how your peers have stepped up to lead a little bit better in those times? Even like students you may not know, but like from beginning to end, what is the transformation you've seen in some of the other students that are in your huddle? Luke?
I mean, sometimes it's how you apply yourself in camp. Like, if you want to be there, like, oh, I'm too tough for this, and then you're like, I need this in my life. I could push them more to just like give their life to Jesus. And sometimes you can see it in people that they need it. And I definitely did 3 years ago. So,
yeah, definitely. Addison, you got anything on that?
I think it kind of, again, puts things in perspective. Like, you're playing all these games, having all this fun stuff, but like really, like, you're not seeing all the internal work that's going on from the outside. So it gives you a bigger picture to what the Lord's really doing, because when you're in huddle time and debriefing after service, you're only really seeing like what's going on inside your huddle of 7-8 girls, or even through a huddle leader. Like, there's nothing that they don't get from it too. I feel like they get just as much from it as we do.
Yeah.
But just being able to hear from other guys and girls, just like to see a bigger picture of what the Lord's done through them, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Just to
That's
sit
so
back
awesome.
and just listen to what all the Lord's
Definitely.
done.
Yeah.
And it's things you would never imagine could happen in the span of 4 days. Like, you're like, wow, that's crazy.
It's like, you mentioned the TV show, The Amazing Race. There was an old TV show called Extreme Home Makeover. I don't know if you ever remember watching that, but
move that
bus. And what they would do is they would take the family living in the home that needed to be remodeled, ship them to Disney World, and they would rebuild the home in like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
That's pretty much FCA camp. What's happening is there are kids coming in that are broken and the structure is falling apart. The foundation's crumbling. Well, you give them 4 days at FCA camp and the parents come back and see them up on the stage testifying of what Jesus has done. And it's like, I don't even recognize my kid anymore. I don't recognize that old house. Like, there's something new inside of that house that looks completely different. And so, man, if you go to Chick-fil-A, you're going to find some chicken. Okay. You go to the gym, I hope you find a treadmill, but if you go to FCA camp, you'll find Jesus.
Man,
okay.
Come on now.
And so that's what's going on, dude. FCA camp, to me, I know we're almost done talking about the camp portion, but it is priceless. You talked about $300, man. Like, dude, it is worth everything to go to FCA camp.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's
Absolutely.
my plug, dude.
Yeah.
I hope to see everybody there.
Absolutely. You got Luke excited over there talking about Chick-fil-A. I saw
Yeah.
him perk up a little
And
bit.
do the viewers and listeners know that he flew down from South Dakota to go to camp?
Mind you, he's like coming from South Dakota.
Willingly.
Willingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he can come from South Dakota, you can come from Northwest Arkansas, Northeast Arkansas.
Yes.
I mean, we're in like southern central Arkansas where we're at, in little Lonsdale, Arkansas. What a beautiful place, man. Last thing I want to hit on FCA camp wise. Spencer, you were over huddle leaders. Would you mind just sharing either an individual quick testimony, something that you saw college students coming in, taking a 10-day portion of their summer to come in and invest in the next generation? What was the impact you saw on their lives, even this last year, as you were over some of those huddle leaders?
Yeah. Oh man. The impact is tenfold. I can remember there was one guy that came in, and if he's listening to this, he'll know exactly who he is, but he came into huddle leader training and told a story and said, man, I almost turned around and did not come because I was about to run out of gas, or maybe he had a flat tire or something. And he said, you know what, this is my sign to not go. And he wound up coming, and that was 3 years ago. And now he's serving on our camps team. And that's a team of veteran huddle leaders that come back to camp to kind of shepherd the new rookies.
Yeah.
And so, man, it's so cool to see somebody like that make a complete 180, come to camp, fall in love with the atmosphere and the culture, and just want to give everything he has for 10 days to invest into the next generation of huddle leaders. So there's been testimony after testimony, but his is definitely special because you see one end to the other and a gap in between of what happens at camp and what makes it so special.
Yeah, definitely. So cool. Be at Arkansas FCA Camp. Go to arkansasfcacamp.org or look on our Central Arkansas East FCA Instagram page, Facebook page, whatever. Find us on social media, DM us, send us a message, whatever it may be. Get in contact with us. You won't want to miss it. It's going to be an incredible few days of life change at Arkansas FCA
Can
Camp.
I add one thing to that?
Absolutely.
I think it gives you it gives you a mentor. So like a lot of people, if they're new to faith, like Luke and Spencer, it can be like intimidating and you don't know who to go to. But over the 4 days, you've built relationships, you built trust, they have credibility, and it's a lot easier to go to than your parents or your pastor at your church that you're afraid to, or someone else. It gives you someone that you already know. Ironically, the same year Spencer had Luke in his huddle, my huddle leader was Abby, Spencer's now wife.
Wow.
Same year, I know.
That's awesome.
And we still talk all the time.
Yeah.
Just accountability. If I have a question about anything or advice, they're just right there, one text, one phone call away. So I think it gives you just someone to always have in your corner too.
Yeah. That's so good. That's discipleship on a larger scale. That's so cool.
That's my wife. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Baby.
Give it up.
Yeah, give it up for
Yes.
Abby. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. The last thing we got, time flies. I told you time flies. We got 10 minutes left here. But I want to talk about what's going on at Cabot High School, what you're a part of Addison at Cabot, and just kind of some of the impact you've seen there. First, let's start with the multi-sport huddle. I can't remember how often you meet, but maybe tell us a little bit about how that group has grown and why you've seen that as super important at Cabot High School.
So like you said, we do a lot of multi-sport huddles, and then we have one larger huddle that meets once a month or every other week, just depending on when we can get the library space. But we have a multi-sport huddle on girls softball, boys baseball, boys and girls basketball, and girls soccer. So during basketball season, we would meet every Wednesday before practice, before we did watch film, lifted, did anything. So before we did anything, we'd have two volunteers, Miss Kelly and Miss Blair, and then I forgot her name. So sorry. She was newer, and they would just come in, open up the word. Miss Kelly would always have a snack for us. So, and we would just circle up in the locker room and just see each other, open the word, read, pray, just relate relationally, build that trust together. And over time, one of the girls, she didn't give her life to the Lord, but she just kind of came to the consensus that this needs to be my number one priority. So I think big picture, it's helped our team bonding on and off the floor.
Yeah.
It's helped us grow more relationally, just to see where we're struggling, to see how we can be praying for each other. And then my teammate realized that this is what her number one priority needs to be, not the basketball, not school, what everything else, but this is what really matters.
Yeah.
So that was really powerful.
I think just bringing a deeper level of awareness to who God is and how he can change your life is super important, especially we're talking about public schools here, whether it's in South Dakota, whether it's in Arkansas, an opportunity to meet together in your team space, especially I know for me in my life, the team space was something that was so important. And I saw relationally that was either something that really made the season or it broke us down over the course of the season. Of if we were able to connect, not just on a surface level, but if we were able to really connect as brothers or sisters together, then our season, regardless of the outcome, was so much more successful than what it ever could have been at the beginning. You feel so much more connected to the people around you. You feel so much more in tune and in line with who God is and what he's speaking in your life, if you can really take the time throughout the season to invest in that. And I'm sure even for you as a returning senior this next year, it's holy smokes,
That's
right?
crazy.
Time flies. But now you have the opportunity, after you've been invested in for these years, to be able to then take more of a leadership role to invest in the next group of ladies who's coming in on the Cabot basketball team, on the volleyball team, whatever that may be. I'm sure even for you, Luke, that's an opportunity to invest and take time in a brand new place to introduce people to something that you've experienced yourself. You're like you said earlier, hey, this is awesome. Yeah. You should be a part of this too. In your time in Cabot, what did that role play in your time at Cabot? I guess maybe a question I should ask is, what got you to FCA Camp in the first place? What was the pull there?
I think it was the FCA Camp. I think my mom signed me up for it.
Okay.
And I was like, Mom, why you sign me up?
Mom.
I don't want to go. It's like 4 days. Come on. And then I went into camp like acting all tough, and it's like, nah, I'm too good for this or whatever. And then I don't remember whose name it was, but he was up there like, come up here if you need to give your life to Jesus or whatever. And I was sitting there like, man, I should go up there right now.
Yeah.
And Spencer's waiting up there with open arms, like, yes, sir, dude.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
come to the altar.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It was Willie Spears, wasn't it?
Was that?
Willie
I think it
Spears?
was.
Yeah, he was the speaker.
Man, that year was great. He
Yeah.
like brought it. Every
Chuck was great too,
single time.
though.
Yeah, Chuck's
Yeah.
awesome.
They were all great. They were all great.
Yeah, man, so many things that we could talk on and hit on. So you talked about the team specific lane. What has been the benefit of meeting together with a bunch of different athletes throughout a bunch of different sports? How has that been successful, and how has that been encouraging to you at Cabot High School?
I think it's been encouraging in more ways than I could think of, just because we're all together with different sports people who you don't normally see because our school is a little big. So you don't really see all these people every day, but we have people who like volunteer to lead devotionals, or we'll have like Josh or the other Josh come in and just encourage us with something or have a word, or sometimes we'll have a youth pastor come in, just something to share. And then you're with the other athletes in sports. Like if there's a situation in boys baseball and then there's something in football, then they're like, they can find common ground and just really help each other through that. So I think it's more of a community aspect, that you're all like playing sports, but you're separately, but you're all together in a way. And
Yeah.
so I think it helps you understand that you're not alone in this. You're not the only student athlete at your school that their faith is important. You love Jesus and you love your sport. Like you're not the only one. So it helps you to just see the other people around you who have the same values and morals as you, and ultimately are trying to walk closer to the Lord as well.
Yeah, definitely. I know it's important as an athlete, and I'm sure, Spencer, you could attest to this too, but as you go throughout your athletic season and you get through, there's some point in your season, regardless of whatever sport did you play, you're like, I'm kind of ready to move on to what's next. Or I'm kind of like, this is fun. It just takes a lot of time and effort, or it's getting repetitive over time. And to be able to step into a space where there's other athletes that it's like, okay, let me think outside of the current context that I'm in. Let me take a larger perspective view of what's going on. Like, Spencer, have you ever experienced that in your life? Like, you're kind of getting tired of the mundane going in and day out, and you just need a little bit larger perspective of the situation.
Oh yeah. I mean, and even in the spiritual aspect of life, you can feel like you're isolated, and then you walk into church or walk into a small group and you're like, man, there's other homies going through the same stuff. It's like you're almost to playoffs in basketball season and you're so tired, but then you look around and your teammates are willing to push if you're willing to push, and they're willing to go the extra mile if you'll just walk with them. And so it's like accountability is a real thing. And I have felt that for sure. The burnout, the I'm too tired to move my feet, but when you look at the team around you that's pushing you, it gives you that extra oomph that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. With 5 minutes left, I have a question out of the blue that I need your creative brains for. All right. Thinking about Arkansas FCA Camp in the future years, what is one game or competition that you would add that would just put Arkansas FCA Camp over the top competition-wise? You talk about games that you maybe do or don't want to be in, but what's a game that you've thought of before or maybe that you've seen, or maybe that you made up in your head that you would want to add to FCA Camp? We got anything off the top of our heads here?
I mean, I was going to say pickleball, but I'm glad we finally jumped on the pickleball train.
Yeah.
I love pickleball. I think it's so
Absolutely.
fun.
Well, I'll tell you, again, you didn't hear this from me, but there may be an alternate version of pickleball. Well, there'll be pickleball still, don't worry. But another type of pickleball style game that's at camp. You're not going to want to miss it. Luke, you got anything over there?
I mean, that's a hard question. I mean, the games are already great, so I don't know if we can make it any better.
If you like
Besides the
dunking on
sock one.
people, Halo Ball is going to be where you're at this year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Besides the sock one, that one wasn't very great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
that's funny.
Oh boy. Yeah. Spencer, any ideas over here?
The thought that comes to mind, there's that hill behind the basketball courts. We could incorporate bowling, and the campers are the bowling balls.
Oh.
So we could find some kind of like cart or something. They hop in with helmets and they go down the hill. First one to get a strike wins. I mean, I think that's awesome. And then we'll have like a cushiony backstop.
Yeah.
Nobody gets hurt.
Have you seen those big what are the bubble balls
The
kind
bubble-
of thing?
That would be fun.
We
If you
need
get
that.
in one of those and you push them and
Yeah.
into some bowling pins, like
We need that.
Not even bowling, just like regular, just like fighting. Just,
Yeah.
like, running up and hitting each other. Whoever
you would
falls the
you would be
furthest
in for
is
that
the
if we did
loser.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would we love to see Josh Adair go against
Oh man,
in a bubble match?
I need to see our state director get in on some of that
Yes,
action.
Josh versus Micah or
That would
Eric.
be-
Or Eric.
Yeah,
Or Eric.
yeah.
That would be-
Honestly, yeah.
Eric probably talk a little bit of snack. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
he'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
I actually have to do this now. Here goes nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Eric, the last thing I want to say about FCA Camp as we wrap up this conversation. This last year was my first year at FCA Camp, and something that immediately attracted me to what was going on was we had a college game day set at FCA Camp. And if you know anything about college football, I'll go ahead and just deem college football the greatest sports avenue in all of sports. College sports are just so good. But they set up a college game day set in there. Mr. Eric Aiken and Dana Huckabee and our one and only Spencer Cowgill was up there chopping it up. But there was also, what do we call it? It was like a half court shot, similar to what Pat McAfee does with the kick on game day. Spencer, you want to describe that real quick? Just what
Yeah,
we did?
the only difference between us and college game day, we're not putting up $500,000.
That's right.
You don't get any money for
I
making
also
it.
don't think they allow Buddy the Elf to bring them syrup shots. to
Yeah,
take
that's
on
Yeah.
set
true.
either.
That's true.
I
If you
was-
know, you know.
That was horrible. I was eating so clean, and then Buddy the Elf made me shoot syrup down the gullet.
Gosh.
That was horrible.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I think what we would do is we would take a camper from each huddle, boy and girl huddle, that had either the most points out of the day or maybe the cleanest cabin, and they would come up and try to make a half court shot, and
Yeah.
they would win maybe a T-shirt. We only had one person make it
Yeah.
last year,
It was
I
a
believe.
girl.
It was a girl.
Yeah.
From it was a 1A school. Where was it? Well, I want to shout it out. I want to
It's
give
like
that
in the
school
bottom
credit.
of the state.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Taylor Tigers. Go
Shout out
Tigers.
Taylor Tigers.
Shout out Taylor. Yeah,
They're really good at
1A,
softball.
1A
Yeah,
Arkansas. Yeah,
absolutely. College game. Wow, I can't even speak.
that's a tough word.
College
Tough word.
game day came to Taylor, Arkansas
Yep.
that day.
Yep. It's a blast.
Yeah.
The set will be back. It's
Okay,
confirmed. The set's
good.
coming back.
You heard that here first, live on Beyond the Huddle. Man, that's all the time we got today. Guys, thanks for being on. Told you 52 minutes can go by quick when you're having fun. So be at Arkansas FCA Camp. Again, those dates are junior high camp is June 7th through the 10th, senior high camp June 11th through the 14th. And you can register at arkansasfcacamp.org. We love you. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Huddle, the Central Arkansas FCA podcast where faith meets competition. I can't speak. What did I just try and say? Game day? College game day? Okay, anyways. Thanks for being here.